We're going to have a look at how to use fractions as a unit of measure. So looking at this number line on the screen, I want to have a look at the red and the blue arrows and see if we can write them as fractions. So let's look at the red arrow first. So if we're looking up to here, we know that's one whole. So how many parts has this one whole been split into? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Okay, so we know that our denominator must be 5. So how many parts is the red line covering? Well, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3/5. So we know that this point here is 3/5. So now let's have a look at the blue line. We still know it's in fifths because we know that each whole has been split into 5 parts. So we know our denominator will still be 5. So how many parts are we looking at with the blue line? So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 parts. So our fraction would be written as 12/5. Now hopefully you'll recognise it from the video that you should have watched that this is an improper fraction. We can also write this as a mixed number. So we know that we have one whole one to here, and now I have 2 whole to here. So I can write this as 2 wholes. Then how many fifths have I got left over? So I've got 1 2/5 left. So I can write it as an improper fraction or as a mixed number. Okay, I've got one for you to try. So on the screen, it's one for you to have a go at. So pause the video, have a try, and then play the video and see if you've got it right. So first of all, you should have had a go at the red one. So the first thing you would have needed to do was have a look to see how many parts a whole, let's change that to red, how many parts the whole has been split into. So that's our whole one. It was split into 1, 2, 3 parts. So we know that our denominator was 3. How many parts did we have? 1. So we know to this point here is 1/3. So then looking at the blue part, you still knew that it was thirds. So how many did we have this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our improper fraction would be 5/3. Then remember, we can also write that as a mixed number. So we've got 1 whole 1 would take us to this point here. So that was 1 whole. Then how many thirds would we have? Spot on. 1, 2. Well done. Okay, let's move on. So another way that we might have a look at units of measure is with this example here. If I'm saying to you that this glass mirror has an area of 1 meter squared, then how much is shaded in this picture here? So the first thing you should have spotted is that I've split this into 4 equal parts. So if it was split into 4 equal parts, how many were shaded? 1 of them. So we would say that that is 1/4 of a meter squared. So let's have a look at another example. So what about with these here? What have I got here? Now here I've got 1 whole one. Now I've got 2 whole ones. So let's write this as a mixed number, 2. And then this final one has been split into how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. And I had 7 of them shaded. So we would write that as 2 7/8. Here's one for you to have a try on. So pause the video again, have a go and see if you can write out the mixed number for this. So you should have spotted straight away that we've got one whole. We can see that this one has been splitted into 2 parts. And one part is shaded. So I have got 1.5 litres of orange juice. So make sure we write down 1.5. And I'm going to write an L there for litres. Or should we put litres? Makes it a bit clearer for you. 1.5 litres. Okay, so pause the video and see if you can have a go at this one. So you should spot you've got one whole straight away. So how many parts has this second one been split into? 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. How many were filled? 3 of them. So we've got 1 3/4 litres. So one last one for you to try. Pause the video and see if you can write this one as a mixed number. Okay, so you should have spotted that you've got 2 whole ones. And then this shape was split into 1, 2, 3 parts. Only one of them here is shaded. So you should have spotted it's 2 1/3. So well done if you got those right. And if you can go and have a go at the worksheet or fill in the rest of the form and have a go and see if you can get these.